That's actually a good thing. And then, of course, he also sent Rebecca's feet as well. And those were absolutely fantastic. Beautiful feet. Perfect. And dirty. God damn, they were so dirty. I wasn't really physically attracted to Jeremy's dirty feet. I'm 91% heterosexual. So that's not enough to make me actually attracted to them. On the Kinsey scale, I just have a slight degree of gay. But Rebecca's just got beautiful lady feet. I just started broadcasting the first 15 minutes of the show, not on Facebook, not on YouTube, but it is now. And so that's I'm hoping that I get as many people as possible who are watching this show to talk about my growing feud with Greg's wife's step-uncle, Rod. And I hope to one day be able to have a type of relationship with Kayla where I can ask questions like, take me through what it's like having a step-uncle. Your mom is married to your dad's brother. Your mom was married to your dad. It didn't work out, so your mom then married your dad's brother. Take me through that dynamic. Tell me how your mother expertly navigated those waters to be able to have some semblance of a family. Tell me what family reunions are like. Tell me what it's like witnessing these two together when they're in the same room. There's a lot there that needs to be discovered, and I think that you owe it to the community, frankly, to be, because that's a unique thing. I mean, you and the Gregster want to be known as America's favorite couple, and that's all well and good. But I think what you should also be known for is the fact that your mom is married to your uncle. I think it's my duty, if you're not going to talk about it, to tell the world about how your mom is married to your father's brother. Cole says that's how you end up with cousin brothers, right? Like Justin. Yeah, I don't know. It all makes my head hurt. I don't know how that works. I guess if there was a point in time that her step-uncle and her mom had a baby, then I guess you're right. If it was like a boy, it would be a cousin brother, a cousin half-brother. And interestingly, that is something that had been referenced many times during the Justin era. So don't think for a second that our old pal Freebeer hasn't noticed the irony of that, of him laughing in the face of Justin about having a cousin brother. And, you know, he's that close to being part of this with his wife possibly having a cousin brother. Why am I talking about this? If you're just joining, this sweet gentleman, Rod Weber, joined my Facebook fight, my Facebook page. This is how it unfolded. Now, this stemmed from my original post that I put online yesterday when I announced, what the fuck? Thank you for this gift. Easy breaks this down on the Wednesday, July 9 podcast. And it's the America's favorite couple thing and all the nonsense that I usually do. And then the thing takes off. But then last night at about 10 p.m., I wrote to Nick. First of all, Nick said, I can't get on board with that. She didn't do anything to taking it. Okay, all right, whatever. And I mentioned Coleman. And then Rod comes in. He says, and he's got to work on his post because there's no punctuation or anything like that, so it's kind of hard to follow along. But he says he joins the fray with, "You are friends with Coleman. You have to be the greatest person. How do you get to that level? I've dreamed of that for years." So he posts that, and right away I respond with, "Ladies and gentlemen, the step uncle has entered the fray." I then went ahead and texted that all to Coleman. Hang on. Dude, step uncle is in my comments. He wrote, "Oh my God, ha 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 ha." And then he starts feeding me lines to say. But before I started to incorporate Coleman's lines, I took my first real shot. I said, "Can you tell everybody about how you married your brother's ex-wife? That might be the most hillbilly thing I have ever heard in my life." Now, you see these smiley faces here? Rod laughed. So he's laughing at the step uncle entering the fray, and he's laughing at... That might be, this guy, I think I could be pals with this guy. He might actually think this is cool. Coleman writes, "Easy. Tell him that you can't understand him until he takes his dentures out." So, sure enough, I write, "Rod, it's better that you are typing. Though I've heard through the grapevine that you are impossible to understand unless you take your dentures out." He laughs again. I'm like, this guy's Teflon. Coleman says he really has a full set of dentures. And I wrote to Coleman, "How the fuck does someone lose all their teeth? Did he have them all pulled because they were fucked up?" He said, "Yeah." And Coleman, "Yeah, they were just hanging out. His wife worked for a dentist." Then he asks, "Did he randomly comment on your post or did you tag him?" And I said, "He randomly commented on it, like out of the blue about an hour ago." Coleman says, "Perfect." I wrote, "Kayla's going to be so pissed." He says, "This is awesome. I might have to get Facebook again." I guess he's one of those people that gets off Facebook. And I get... Coleman then took the screenshot that I sent him, and he sent it to to step uncle's son. So that would be Kayla's step cousin brother. I said, "Are you friends with his son?" Coleman says, "We were best friends. Then when I was going through my divorce, he ghosted me. I never heard a word from him." Later on, I went to bed. I wake up. I see, dude, do a follow-up comment for him saying because he made a comment, if you notice, how do you get to that level? I've dreamed of that for years. Make a follow-up comment. He has dreamed of that for years. How many years did he dream of How many years did you dream of marrying your brother's wife? LOL. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. So sure enough, today, 45 minutes ago, did you also dream of marrying your brother's wife for years? So basically, Coleman's firing off these jabs. He's feeding me fucking kerosene jokes. And I'm throwing them up there to respond to this nitwit. What? Ladies and gentlemen, I give this guy full credit. He is in the chat, as far as I can tell. Uncle's stepdad is in the chat. He says, "Don't be hating on my love life." Now, I have no way to tell if that is really step Uncle Rod. But let me tell you something if you are. You're a goddamn legend. All right? I don't even have the energy nor would I disrespect a person who's got the goddamn stones to marry his brother's fucking wife. Now, look, I don't care about what's going on. I mean, let me just tell you, if this is you, your stepdaughter's husband is fucking my biggest adversary. And you probably are like, yeah, I can see why. Linda says, easy, don't get ahead of yourself. Are we sure it's not like somebody with a fake name? Who knows? Who knows? I would need some type of 2-level authentication, you know? I would need Step Uncle Rod to reach out to EZ through Messenger or some other means, perhaps even just tagging the post. Like if Step Uncle Rod went back to this right here and added, hey, that was me on your Twitch, then we know. Then we absolutely know. So if I can get that confirmation there, adding to the post, then yeah, because I'll tell you right now, if that is, and he's got the stones to step up, then I'm all about that. That's a new level of respect if that is the case, and I have no problem with that. I would have so many questions. Can you imagine if he was having fun with this and we became like pals? The glory that I would be in, being pals with the step uncle. I would do everything in my power to treat you with the utmost respect, if that were the case. But I don't suspect it. I totally think it's what Linda said. But that would be a great thing to dream about. And if this is what I think it is, what it probably is, that's another reason. Well, I'll just leave it at that. I should probably not get ahead of myself. That's a great advice, Linda. I'll stick with the facts. The fact of the matter is, the exchange I had yesterday with Step Uncle Rod is absolutely legendary, and I'm ecstatic that we are at that point in time. Kayla is going to light a fire under Step Uncle. All right. And then there is this. I have today planned on a Big Fraud Thursday a deep dive on how it sounded on the air on the Free Beer and Hot Wings show when they broke all this shit down about being America's next top couple. Let me just describe to you in setting the table. The way it unfolded on the air was, the way it was presented has me think that Greg said to Steve, all right, it's time to unveil this. This is what I'm trying to do. Kayla and I, we want to be douchebags, and we're running for America's top couple. I love this more than anything, and I want you to bring it up like on the air. All right? I want you to present it because it would be weird if I presented it. Now, it might be for him, but if it were me, like if it was actually me on that show and I was trying to get, I would be running to the airwaves saying, you won't believe what we are doing. I am so excited about this. And I would dive in, but Greg does it in this weird way where he tries to act like he has no idea what's going on. And boy, does it lay flat, because and I'll break it down with you on today's show. On Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane, 7 days free, is you go ahead and as you listen to it, first he's acting like, he doesn't know what's going on. And then the next thing you know, he's blurting shit out interrupting Steve about how to vote. Then his story gets all weird about the prize money. He talks about how, we're trying to win some money for send the kids to college, and then there's confusion about that, and then he lied, and then he blames it on Kayla, and then Kayla calls him out, and then that gets even more weird. The whole thing was fucked up. God damn. In fact, let's kind of like start to unpack it bit by bit. Clip number 1. Oh, I'm so not prepared for this. Hang on, give me a second. Clip number 1 of these clips. Excuse me. Freebeer reveals the contest, but he makes it seem like someone entered Kayla and him in the contest with this comment right here.
We've been entered into this contest, me and my wife, and we are in the running for America's favorite couple.
Steve had asked something about it, and then this is how Greg responded.
We've been entered into this contest, me and my wife, and we are in the running for America's favorite couple.
Okay, so now, if you heard that and you didn't know anything, what does that sound like to you? We've been entered into this contest.
We've been entered into this contest, me and my wife, and we are in the running for America's favorite couple.
By the way, it's my wife and I, moron. Okay, so there's that. Steve, to his credit, right away calls bullshit on that.
What do you mean you've been entered?
I believe my wife entered us.
Okay, even that.
I believe my wife entered us.
You can't say, I believe my wife entered us when you watched her enter the contest. You're well aware of this, but he's such a pussy about getting into this goddamn story that he words it this way.
What do you mean you've been entered?
I believe my wife entered us.
Okay. So already being a total douchebag, Freebeer realizing that there's no way out of this starts to be a little more honest for now.
When I say I believe, I know for a fact she did.
Okay. So now, all right. Now it's, so what started as we've been entered.
We've been entered into this contest, me and my wife, and we are in the running for America's favorite couple. When I say I believe, I know for a fact she did.
Wouldn't that have been easier? By the way, I learned that these contests there's a billion of these. There's America's favorite dog. There's America's favorite cat. And what they do, upon doing some research, is they go ahead and they attach a charity to it. And somewhere in the fine print, it will say that a portion of the proceeds go to these two. This is as flimsy as it gets. The real key is buying the votes. Okay, you get the one free, but you buy the votes for whoever your stars are. In this case, these two lovebirds. And then like 99.999 cents of every dollar goes in somebody's pocket, and some goes to these charities, and the winner of this gets $20,000. The key is the words "in their group," because when they win this group, there's probably like 10 people or whatever. They go on to it's like win in advance. It's like March Madness. And this goes on and on and on with people supporting this goddamn grift. That is what these two clowns have gotten behind. Furthermore, it's important to note, and I don't want to reveal it all, but when we talk about this on the Patreon, you will hear what started as Greg sheepishly kind of putting his toe in the water, he's actually very, very energized about this whole goddamn thing and so excited that he starts blurting shit out about how to vote and how to do this. And he knows it all. All right? He wants to win this goddamn thing. This is the same goof who gets really wound up about shit like this. See, Greg's big thing is all about clout. All right? Like, they started giving away affiliate stations for free. Like if you bought a radio station, like if Joe Gassman buys a radio station with PPP funds from SBA loans, and he wants to put Free Beer and Hot Wings show on, he can put it on for fucking free. All he has to do is give them like 3 minutes an hour of advertising, and it's a trade. It's a barter. And Greg loves that because he likes to say, oh boy, I'm on this many radio stations. That's a clout thing. He's a clout chaser. He loves that shit. Meanwhile, I was always like, wait a minute. We used to get like 70, 80 GER a station. And now we get nothing. We used to get ads, three an hour, and cash. You had to pay for the goddamn content. When Peter got in there, that all went out the window. So, but Greg loves that shit. He would rather be able to say, yes, about 50 radio stations than actually earn money. And then if you think about his whole nonsense about getting that brick at GLC Live at 20 Monroe, that's the type of shit he loves. So make no mistake, he really wants to win this. So don't buy any of his bullshit when he's acting like he didn't have any fucking thing to do with this.
We've been entered into this contest, me and my wife, and we are in the running for America's favorite couple.
And that will be revealed with painstaking detail in today's Patreon. When we do, I'm sorry, not my Patreon. When we do Who Are These Free Beers tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, you must sign up at patreon.com/Eric Zane. Sign up for fucking free. I don't give a shit. 7 days free. You got to hear this because how he's so poor at this that he cannot contain his excitement about it. And he starts like stumping. He starts like explaining how to vote. He knows all this shit. Yet he tries to make Steve seem like he is exposing it when that's not the case at all. Greg tipped him off. Now we talk about it. Now we present it on the air. I really want to win this goddamn thing. It's so bad. Holy shit. I find this to be damning, really, because learning how much of a grift that these goddamn contests are and how they shroud themselves as a charity in order to steal your money and under the guise of a charity. And that's really, really bad. I think that the only thing that could possibly be positive would be they finally beat him into submission and to understanding that it's a horrible look to steal this money on your own, to give it to a charity. But even that they fuck up because they're giving it to their own charity, which, I mean, I don't know about you, but I've seen how this show operates from an administrative level. And if I knew how an organization was run on an administrative level in such an inept way that this one is, I'd be like, oh, boy, steer clear. No thanks. I'd be very leery of that. Fuck. You know who's running the goddamn thing? Well, Greg's the chair of it. But you know who else is running? Fucking Bennercrombie's on the goddamn board. A fucking college bro is running the fucking ship. What? I think we need to tip off CharityWatch.org about our friends over at Idiots for Underdogs. Say, hey, can you keep an eye on this group? Because they don't know whether they're coming or going when it comes to their day-to-day operations. And when it comes to, like, the shit that they talk about on the air. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I think we need to look at this with a very strong bit of scrutiny, if you will. Rebecca says they should give it to Kids Food Basket, which they are having a fundraiser for. Now, that's a great charity. Now, that's what they should do. I think that this whole Idiots for Underdogs thing, I don't know, man. I would disband the whole thing based on who's on the board. These dipshits. Fuck me. Jeremy says, let's not forget that they didn't mention that Idiots for Underdogs is his charity that he's on the board for. How noble of him to donate to his own charity so he can write off and a bonus. Yeah, I can't say that for sure. I don't know. I don't know the specifics of what you speak of. Maybe you know something that I don't know. But that can't be stated as fact for fear of some negative, type of response from them towards me. Sniffles for Underdogs. Tyler says Greg would spare no expense so that he can constantly say, we're America's favorite couple on the air. All right. Let's see. I got a lot more that I want to get to about this, but my brain is fucking cooked. Oh, my God. So I've talked about this before. It serves them no good to mention me in any way, shape, or form. And they will again. Occasionally, they get frustrated with the amazing honesty and the awesome wit and intelligence that I display on a daily goddamn basis. And they will fire off a sideways little love tap, which means nothing. They're extremely outgunned when it comes to what they can do and what I can do. You know, sideways love tap that only I can barely pick up means nothing. All you do is pump wind into my sails when you mention me. I actually sit up taller in my chair, which I love saying that statement, I know, but it's true, when I am given the validation of getting under their skin. Plus, it's fun. That's one of the biggest reasons why I do this. Not to mention that this is a for-profit show, and I benefit in dollars and cents. And that's how I make my living. But it's fucking fun to sit there and call them out on their bullshit. The other thing is the Segment 18 page. Now, you have a quiet bunch of people on that page who hate getting beat up when they support me in any way, shape, or form, so they have to be careful. I get that. But, you know, you've got the LARPer contingency. When I was on the air, make no mistake, half the audience loved me, half the audience hated me. But 100% of them, I got a reaction out of them. It was either fuck yes or fuck you. And it's like, well, that's what I'm shooting for. Thank you. I appreciate that. The difference in podcasting is it's harder to get the fuck you type. I want the hate listeners, just like I wanted them when I was on GRD, but it's a little bit of a different animal because they have to seek you out. It's a leaned-in audience, you know. They would rather listen to the bullshit on that show than they would here. But I still get them from time to time, people who hate listen, and that's actually been increasing quite a bit lately. But the remarkableness is that you get that LARPer contingency, the neckbeards, Pokemon Go enthusiasts, morbidly obese people on the Segment 18 page. They love to attack me, but it's an echo chamber, which is fine. I don't mind. But I've said it many, many times. You people that talk about me, that is such a foolish thing. Ryan wrote on their page, look, hey, we got to vote for our favorite couple, which you would expect that. And then right away, I attacked. Jason says, and of course, Zane has already started bashing this. And then the usual talking point of pretty sad. He has to use a job he was fired from just to stay relevant. Well, look, yeah, I mean, this sure is fun. I'll say that. It makes my job very easy. I'll give you that. Nick writes, who is an all-star contributor on their page, you are just giving him ammo. He has said time and time again that it's a win anytime he gets talked about. What I don't understand is how you haven't figured out he is playing the same character as he has always played. Now it's just against FBHW instead of with them. Now, I made a crack, which I thought was a goddamn killer joke. And I said that Greg's wife looks like me with a wig. And I think it's perfect because her nose is bigger than mine. When she's looking straight at the camera, I will say she has some pretty high level of attractiveness. But it all goes out the window when she turns sideways. All right? Now, Greg paid off her student loans. He needs to invest in rhinoplasty. It's a fucked up nose, and there's no getting by that. I mean, it's a horrible nose. Jesus fuck. So that's a great comment with, I mean, unfortunately, he's kind of right. She does kind of look like he in a wig. Now, this one kind of bothered me. Timmy DeShano. Now, he wrote, who's Zane? Now, for a little bit of background, a couple years ago, he reached out to me, and he said it was one of those, and I don't really engage these as much as I used to, but sometimes people will reach out to me and say, oh, my God, I'm dying. I'm an alcoholic. Please help me. And he bought a Cameo. And so he was like 5 days into sobriety or something like that. And I encouraged him, whatever, offer some words of encouragement about that you would expect to hear from me, who I am one of the greatest recovering alcoholics that has ever walked the face of the earth. There is no one better at staying sober than me. All right? I have not met anybody who is so good at this. And it's 100% true. In June of 96, I said, fuck this shit. I'm going to fuck my life up. My wife's threatening to leave me. All right, fine. Thank God she did that. Rock bottom moment. Never touch another drop. As usual, I dominate. So then I start getting idiots who are too soft to do it on their own like I did, asking me how to do it. So now I'm not going to do that. I'm also not going to be a goddamn sponsor. I tried to do that several times with various losers who are too shitty and dumb to understand how the whole process works. So fuck them. And various failures in that regard. I go, you know what? God damn it. I hate failing. If you're not going to do this right and attend 60 meetings in 30 days, fuck you. So this stupid ass finally, apparently, got his act in gear. And that's him with fucking producer Joe. That tells you something. Anyway, but he's one of these stupid bastards who, after every day he's sober, he posts about it. And right away, my red flags are going up. It's like, oh, boy. Yeah, dude, shut up. Okay? Talk to me when you've got 10 years in. You're setting yourself up. Every day is a new goddamn day. And so, for him, this stupid piece of shit, after his most recent bit of, I'm 5 days in, I was like, all right, well, I support you, but you might want to just fucking worry about today. I wrote to him this because he's like, Zane who? Never heard of him. I wrote, yeah, I'm the guy who tried to encourage you to save your own life by quitting drinking. How's that going? Now, I suspect he's drunk again because he hasn't responded. I see this from time to time on a page like theirs. Matt writes, yeah, it's amazing. He was the absolute best and driving force of FBHW and somehow still is. His content is amazing. If you've never checked him out, and his content is free, other than the Patreon bonus. Thank you, Matt. If you like FBHW and are a big fan, you are 100% missing out on not listening to EZ. If nothing else, it's no different than watching a show or movie you love than watching the behind the scenes of making of whatever. Absolute gold if you're a true fan. But these dipshits are too stupid to know that. And then I made a comment to one of them. God, where was it? I don't even know if I can find it now. Yeah, I said, you are correct, Nick. I don't need to even lift a finger to get promotion with the Segment 18 group. What a bunch of morons. They deal me in on everything. And the only thing interesting to talk about on that fucking page is me. Otherwise, these goddamn twats are just sitting there posting stupid fucking memes with each other and chuckling and voting on America's Next Great Couple. Bob writes, 12 hours sober, guys. Let's celebrate. Chris says Timmy is the super white knight defender of the show. Yeah, I don't ever try to convince those losers into listening to me and not listening to them. It's up to them to figure that shit out on their own. But don't act like it's me on every goddamn post. If I want to say something, I'll just say something. I'm actually friends with the admin of that page who created it. His name is Will Monroe, and he's about sick of all you fucking cultists. Fuck you. God damn it. Chris says there's more and more people attacking them on their own page that aren't recognizably associated with this show. Good. Yeah. Bit by bit, brick by brick. And that's what my pal Chris D likes to say to me. Man bun Chris. And I'm going to talk about him in a second. I just find it amazing that I was able to interact with step Uncle Rod in that capacity. That was outstanding. I'm trying to see if he contributed back to the post in my EZ two-step verification plan. I will check that now. I highly doubt it. I'm starting to believe more and more that was you-know-who, which would not surprise me at all. And if I'm wrong, then I would recognize that. But no, Linda was correct. It was you-know-who. I guarantee it. Now watch, I'm going to get an email saying, I didn't do that. Okay, whatever, dude. Go away. For fuck's sake. God, take a goddamn hint. Holy shit. All right. Last night was soccer night in West Michigan. And boy, it did not let down. The West Michigan Rangers are the NPSL's entry from West Michigan. And they played, and I am the PA announcer for them. They're taking on Geo's Lions out of Chicago. Geo's Lions have this emotional high point moment. The team is named after a young boy in the community who ran out in the street, and he was a huge fan of the soccer team. And he ran out into the street to get a soccer ball, and unfortunately, he lost his life because little guy got hit by a car. We played the story. It was touching. It was so sad. And what the team was playing for the little guy, and so much so, and his name was Gio. They named the goddamn team after him. And so then They are kicking everybody's ass. And you've got family there. You got all the usual things that you would expect in something so touching. And so they kick everybody's ass in the league. And then this is it. This is a conference playoff game. Now, the winner of this game goes to the conference championship. Hang on, I got to sneeze. Oh, man, that was a bad one. And so they had fire in their eyes, these guys. They had so much fire in their eyes that you'll be able to tell that they're all business, because I had to go and talk to the Geo's Lions before the game yesterday and get pronunciations, because this is what we describe as an American or United Nations team. There are no white people. It's all Mexicans, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and Nigerians. And I go up to this dude, and he's like super Nigerian. And his name is like Guido Mumbwakwe or something like that. And I go, hey, buddy, I'm going to say the names. And I got my phone recording. If I fuck it up, you tell me the name. Let's go, let's go, let's go. That's right here. Oh, shit. I just called 911. Let me do this again. All right, here we go.
So if I say the name and I do it okay, I got it. But if I say it wrong, will you say it for me?
Yeah, I can say it for you.
Kai Otajiri?
Yes, fine. Kai is fine. Yeah.
If you need to go, don't worry.
Yeah.
Fabricio Reyes?
Yeah, fine. Fabricio.
That sounds right?
Yeah, sounds fine. Let's go.
Let's go.
Bakola how do I say?
I don't know about that one.
Abdul Wahab?
Yeah.
Which one? Oh, that's his name, Jeffrey.
Joffrey.
Joffrey? Oh, he's talking about Bukola.
Bukola? What's the last? Or should I just say Bukola?
Yeah, buddy Bukola. I'm not saying that.
And I say Joffrey?
Yeah, Joffrey.
Kato Nakayama. What's this one? Tanaka.
Yeah, Tanaka.
Let's say Tanaka. Diego Pacheco. Okay. Jose Sasaki.
Yeah.
Leonardo Dutra.
Yep.
Austin Salazar. Eduardo Garcia. Vinicius Novo. Leo Velasquez.
Yeah.
Eduardo Garcia. Jamar.
Yeah.
Stinchcomb. Umberto Tucheri.
Yep.
Jonathan Rodriguez.
Yep.
Angel or Angel? Angel Mendez. Alexander Amaya. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Finger Banger says, did you write out the phonetic spelling? No, the way I do it is I just get someone saying it, and then I take it back to the booth, and then I write it out so that I pronounce it appropriately. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Chris says, you weren't recording. That was an open line to ice. Jeremy says, Jose Sasaki, a Mexican, Japanese American. Exactly. Badger says, like you're going to remember. Yeah, dipshit, I told you. The recording is there so that I can then take it back to the booth and then write it out, asshole. I've been doing this for like 50 fucking years. You know what I want out of the world? I want the world to recognize that I know everything about the things that I'm amazing at. You know why I'm amazing at them? Because I know everything. There is nothing anybody can try to tell me how to do it when it comes to the shit I do. No one's better at these things, including being humble. God damn it. So anyway, I get all that shit taken care of. It's great. I write the names down, and I'm thinking, and all while that's happening, these guys they mean business. They got to win this for the little guy, and I kind of want them to win. Who wouldn't? I take it back. I want the Rangers to win, but if Geos wins, I'm like, yeah, all right, there you go. Go get them in the finals. Now, all we've got is white guys. And I thought for sure that the United Nations, that is Geo's Lions, since they're all like international players, that they were going to kick our ass. But that one guy that you heard go, let's go. He was probably about 6'2", and his shoulders were huge, and his waist was little, and his hips and his ass was monstrous strong. His legs were tree trunks, and he ran like a fucking cock. This dude, it was like he was on purpose running with a weird limp. And then he got the ball, and he starts dribbling it. The first time he got the ball in the zone, and it's just like he kept going until he was out of bounds. So Chris looks at me, I look at him, and I go, what the fuck was that? He goes, I don't know, man. He had it, and it's like his feet are made of steel. What's going on with this guy? And they ended up subbing him out with like 3 minutes to go in the half, which I guess that's a big no-no. That's like the coach saying, you're shitty, and you're so shitty that I'm going to sub you out with 3 minutes to go in the half. I'm not even going to wait till halftime, you cock. So that guy was terrible. And our guys are all bunch of pasty white dudes. And we kicked the shit out of them all game long. I mean, the Rangers, there they are. They didn't give a shit about any sad story. They were like, we don't care. Our job is to beat your ass. And they did. It was 2-0, but it might as well have been 5-0. One of our guys, I forget who. His name is probably Ron Smith. He got the ball, and his back is to the net, and he just like flipped it backwards like a horse pawing the dirt with his foot. But he hit the ball, and the ball went in. It was this crazy ass goal. It was incredible. Hang on, I got to turn on the air. It's getting warm in here. So we beat the shit out of them. And we went away with the win, and then they started getting frustrated, the other team. And the refs were not great because we kept, like, committing fouls. Like, if their guy has the ball and he's running along saying, oh, great, I'm doing awesome. And all of a sudden our guy comes in and he slide tackles. From what I understand, I don't know shit about soccer, but they explained this to me yesterday. If dude who's tackling him's foot hits the ball and then makes contact, good hit. But if it's the other way around, not a good hit. Well, yeah, that was happening a lot. There was one moment when Gio's Lions guy has the ball and he's like, oh, I'm doing awesome. And our guy comes in and just like, poof, and just pushes him. And the guy goes fucking flying and their bench erupts. And then the ref's like, oh, looks good to me. It's totally fine. And we're in the booth going, oh, shit, it's going to be a fucking fight. Sure enough, before you know it, ref starts like passing out goddamn red cards like it's Uno. Red card. And all their teams getting pissed off. They're having to leave. You got to leave. Oh, shit. So we thought there was going to be a goddamn brawl. So 90 minutes hits. And I said to Chris, I go, you think he's just going to call it and skip the extra time? He goes, that's happened. But it wasn't. He had 5 minutes of extra time on there. So that's a soccer thing. You know, game's 90 minutes, but then they take into account all these stoppages and the stalling and the fake injuries and the stupid shit, and they add time. So the guy goes, 5 minutes extra time. I'm like, oh, my God, it's going to be a goddamn brawl. It's a nuclear war, international incident. Holy shit. But we made it. And Gio's Lions goes home. And the dream ends. So the fans are in the stands are crying for the kid. I felt so bad. And our guys ended the dream. Now our guys play for the conference title against some team from somewhere. I don't know. I don't care. And we had a great crowd there last night. And before, there was a moment when Chris says to me, you see that guy there and that girl there, that husband-wife team? Well, actually, just you say a woman in the blue? Yeah. Well, her husband does these TikTok videos. Chris, if you're watching this, please send me that link. And they get a lot of views. And it's one of these ones where the husband, it would be like if Pooh Bear was sitting there reading a book and I got in front of her and held the phone up to me and I said something that made her go, oh, whoa, no, oh, my God. The husband, he holds the phone up and he goes, honey, being married to you is like a morning cup of coffee. And then it's the way I have to. Seeing you every morning is like a cup of coffee. I need it to start my day. It's a boost in energy. And then the final thing he says is, I have to dump a load of cream into it. And, you know, that's that. It's like the big twist at the end is when he says something stupid. I have to dump a hot load of cream into it to make some shit like that. And then the wife goes, oh, my God. Oh, you're disgusting. So she's there. I can see her in the stands. And they're like, whatever they're called. Stephen Kelly on TikTok, at Stephen Kelly. I'm getting it wrong, but it doesn't matter. But I go, that's her. That's her. She did that video. And Chris quickly shows me that. I go, okay. So I go, ladies and gentlemen, star-studded night. All the stars are here. Local TikTok legends. And I said who it was. And she goes, her eyes light up, and she's like mortified. She's like, oh, my God, I can't believe. Oh, she's looking up at me. I'm like, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I see you. Talking about putting his cream in, you dumb bitch. Holy shit. She was cute. I think she was DTF. Seems like it. I love those videos, those TikToks of those cute couples. You know, I can't get the nerve up to do it because A, we're old, and B, it's been done. So I don't want to do that shit. You know, I don't want to be a Johnny come lately on that whole fucking deal. But I love those videos. There's a couple couples I love like that. It's like, oh, my God, you guys are so cute. Would you just have sex on video, please? I want to see you guys having sex. Chris with a great reference. Is it like America's favorite couple? Now, those people would be America's favorite couple. I don't know if sitting there looking like a bitch eating ice cream is the way to make yourself be part of America's favorite couple. I cannot believe somebody pointed out how much of a beta look that is for Greg. What a bitch. In the shorts, in his leg table, knees together, ankles apart. Ugh. So bad. Thank you, Chris. Bringing it all back around. There you go. So that's it. Tonight, or I should say Saturday night, the Michigan Rangers play again 7 p.m. at the Davenport Football Stadium. They are in need of an announcer. I cannot do the game. If you have ever announced a soccer game or you would like to do this job, you don't even have to have experience. Chris will help you with everything. Man Bun Chris. You'll be with him. He's a legend. You'll be sitting in my seat calling the game. This is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do if you're in West Michigan and you think you can do this job, because I have reached out to every person I know who can do PA duties, and they're all busy. Big Drew, Josh, Fongers, Travis Gibbs, everybody. Everybody told me to go fuck myself. If you want the gig and you're in West Michigan, it's a great opportunity. You're going to make $150. All I need to do is send me a note, send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com on the Shoreliner Striping inbox, and it might be you doing this. You don't even need to have experience, but somebody does need to do the job. All I want you to do is channel your inner EZ. And even if you're just 1% of my abilities, it'll still be the second best thing they are ever going to have. Tophus writes concerning our pal Free Beer, when someone pointed out Greg's knees together with his ankles apart with the ice cream on top, it just added a whole new dimension to that abortion of a photo. Chris also writes that look on his face, too. Yeah, that is pretty bad. What a douche. Okay. Thank you to the sponsors that help make this show go round. If you're thinking about wanting to, if you'd love to get a little bit more exposure for what you do, reach out to me, eric@ericzaneshow.com. I can explain to you how it works. Thank you to Impact Power Sports. They sponsor the studio. Check them out online at impactpowersportsmi.com. I was so anxious to get into my discussions of my new relationship with Rod Weber that I completely neglected to mention my studio sponsor. They can get you into a Yamaha golf cart. How about an ATV, UTV, motorcycle, go-kart? All things 100% endorsed by Nick, the electrician. He loves them over there. He takes all his gear over to their service department because when he fucks it up like he did his Bobcat, he has them fix it for him. ImpactPowerSportsMI.com. Thank you, Kuiper Tree Care. If you need tree removal, stump grinding, tree pruning, storm cleanup, tree risk assessment with their 3 certified arborists, and you need Kuiper Tree Care, Kuiper, treecare.com. 616-828-8225. 616-828-8225. Call or text. Thank you. It's time for me to take a break. I'm finding this happening more and more where I'm getting like discomfort in my throat. Like it hurts. And I never used to have that happen. And I'm wondering if it's age. I'm wondering if my parts are wearing out. I mean, talk about the one thing that I cannot have wear out. I almost feel like I need to intentionally keep it in second gear instead of fifth gear. Thank you to the folks on Facebook and YouTube. I appreciate you being here. If you would, please go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live and sign up. So that way you can get the entire show live. It is up there, and you get the full show uninterrupted. So twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Also, if you want to sign up for my Patreon to get tonight's Who Are These Free Beers, where we will break down the great America's Favorite Couple contest discussion. We'll be doing that. That is going to be quite a deep dive. I'm telling you. Sign up for 7 days free at patreon.com/Eric Zane.